Greetings, I'm Barrett and welcome to Meet Me at the Table. Today we're going to be unboxing, look at this Marvel United X-Men. Look at all of this. This is absolutely out of control. This is pretty much an all-in pledge for Marvel United X-Men. I started with the base box. We've already received this a little while ago. This shipped first in the first wave, and then all of this is our second wave here. So I'm going to be unboxing all of this. We are going to start with the core box because there are components in here that you'll be seeing that will be used in all the other ones. So if they reference something from it, you'll be able to know what we're talking about if I show you what's inside this box. But do be aware, this has come a while ago. I shouldn't say a while ago, but it has arrived before all this other stuff have, and we've kind of been playing a little bit of it. Of course, as you can see by the picture on the screen right now, my 12-year-old son is super excited for this game. And coming back to the boxes, I will be putting timestamps for each one of these, so if there's a certain box you're interested in seeing, you can just go to that time, the timestamp, and see what's inside it. I'm excited to delve into all of this, and if you're excited to see what is inside all of Marvel United X-Men, pretty much all in pledge, then I need you to meet me at the table. Like I said, we will start with the original game that came. This is the core box for the game, but this is the only reason I'm showing it to you is because a lot of this could transfer over to some of the other expansions. So it does come with your rule book that shows you exactly how to play Marvel United. It is not the most sophisticated game, but it is super fun and super enjoyable. I've tried to keep this game as close to the intact as possible. We didn't punch out any of the tokens because a lot of the tokens are, well, they are exactly like the other game, except for a couple of them down here. But otherwise, these are the exact same tokens you'd use in the original Marvel United. We do have our board here that kind of has the villain dashboard. Again, like I said, I tried to keep it so that we as unopened as possible. I'll take that off. We'll place this down. You place your villain up here, and then you place your objective cards down here, and that's the deal. Then you start playing. He, of course, has his special power. Each villain is completely different. Here's this one right here. Magneto has a different power, and Juggernaut also has some super villain powers. And, of course, on the back, it's got the rules for how to play against Juggernaut. Magneto is a character that can be played both as a hero and a villain, which is kind of cool that they did that in this game. Here's Mystique, another person you can play as a villain. You can tell by the fact that the miniature is purple. Mystique is purple, so she's able to be played as a hero or a villain, depending on what you want to do it. Of course, Juggernaut, straight up villain. He's a bad guy. He and Professor X do not get along at all, which is why X-Men 3 was a terrible movie. Not a big fan of that movie because that right there pretty much killed it with the fact they didn't even know each other. It's not cool, man. It's super good. We've got Magneto here. He looks super awesome. All these minis are very, is it chibi, I think is the name of it, with the kind of bigger heads and more dynamic, like, bodies. These are, I'm a big fan of how they did the art for this. I think it works out really well. Here's Professor X. We have Cyclops, of course, and here's all the cards. Every hero comes with their own set of cards, and then you'll be drawing these cards and playing them around based on their symbols here. And the cool thing of how cooperative this game is that the next person in line will be using those symbols, so being able to talk about what symbols people are going to play will help decide how you venture through the game. You'll see that because I already know I'll be doing a playthrough of this with my son. He is super excited to do another playthrough with me, and this is the game he's been waiting for. So I got all of our different characters here. Like I said, Mystique can be used as a hero or a villain. So here's her starting hand. Actually, I have a starting hand here. Interesting. All right. She has 8 cards that are her starting hand. We have Magneto. We have Wolverine. We have oh, that's right. We started playing. We took out some of the double wilds. That's one of the ways you can play is you can take out some of the wild cards to make it a little bit tougher. But each character does have their own set of cards. These are the enemy cards right here. Our threat deck is going to be based on every enemy has their own type of threat deck that you're going to be facing. And that's really about all that there is. That is really what it is to the game. Here's the different threats you're going to have to complete. Then as you complete these will unlock the ability to actually take out the villain then. So you have to defeat like maybe a certain amount of, you have to defeat all the thugs or rescue those civilians or do the clear threats. And once you start unlocking these, you'll be able to start attacking the boss. But he's also going to be getting a little bit more powerful as you start thwarting his plans. Here's some of the evil characters cards. We've got Juggernaut and Sabretooth in here. We have super villain cards and superhero cards. We have challenge cards, and we have used Cerbero. That's pretty cool. That's really about all that's in the core box. of this game. And that's what a lot of the boxes are going to look very similar to this once you start seeing how they open up. Each one of them, there are some that actually do like potential campaigns or different scenarios that involve the actual core box themselves, and also some new rules that go with the other rules. So that is the core box. We're done with that. We're going to move on to our next box. The next one we're going to look at is X-Men First Class. This is going to bring us back to the roots of the comics. I'm being tested very well on my comic knowledge here. I'm not a super comic guy, but I try to know my best about everything. It does have our components, and it might have some rooms, danger room challenges and training cards. So there is going to be a little bit of difference for this. We have some ice tokens for, I'm going to guess that's going to be for Iceman. We have our villain here, which is Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. They are together. They're brother and sister. They're going to fight against each other. Now, of course, if I remember right, both of these are heroes in the original Marvel United. We do have some new tiles that we could use, and of course, you can use any tiles you want when you're playing the game. If there's actually specific ones for scenarios, then you can. Alternate end of turn, gain one training card. So the Danger Room does come, this expansion does come with some new cards that have to do with being able to train your heroes, because after all, this is their first class. This is the very beginning of their days. We've got Iceman right here. We've got Marvel Girl up here. This is Marvel Girl. She is Jean Grey, if I remember right. We've got Quicksilver, and we have Scarlet Witch up here as well. They'll both be moving around the board and doing bad things. Here's our training cards. I'm going to take a quick look at the training cards and see what those are all about. It looks like as we play, we'll be able to train up some of our guys. We can discard, draw 2 cards, and discard 1 card to the bottom of the deck. This could be a potential training card that you could gain. You can gain one of these permanent cards if you want to. That'll change the way your character works or upgrade certain powers that they have based on their cards. So these training cards might be kind of cool. I have to read into those. And each villain comes with its threat deck, which is right here, which shows a little bit about what they can do. They can, sibling bonds, they have different, so you're going to be drawing these and you're going to be placing these out on the board. And these are going to go around the different locations. You're going to have to deal with these. And once you deal with these, you can then flip them over, or you can resolve basically what these are, or these are going to resolve whether or not they're on the board. It all depends on the scenario you're playing. This is the enemy deck right here. These are going to move them around the board based on certain numbers that they're going to move, and then they're going to bam you, and their bam is going to be based on their actual enemy board, which is right here. So that would be what each one of these is going to do to you when they actually, if they land in your square and attack, or if it might even say like 3 squares attack. It depends on the enemy. Every enemy is so different. That's actually one of the unique things about this, is even there are so many bosses and so many different enemies to fight, they all actually are quite different. Here's Angel's card. I'm sure Angel's going to have a lot of potential movement symbols in here. I'm going to guess and each one of these do usually have a couple special abilities that are unique to their character. Attack from above, I can move to any location and defeat 2 thugs there, so he's going to be very good at moving around the board, I'm sure. Then we got Beast, we've got Iceman. I bet Iceman might potentially stun the villains. I'm guessing is going to be some of his powers. Ice Slide, he's got Freeze. Attach a freeze token to a villain in your location. The next villain turn, the villain cannot move, and the token is discarded. So yeah, he's going to be freezing some of the enemies in place. Marvel Girl is probably going to be moving people around, because they are very similar to how their telekinesis, either one of those things in or an adjacent location. So yeah, she's going to be like throwing things or saving people, saving civilians from across the board. Here's a challenge card that you can use in it if you want to. And we have Cyclops. I'm going to look at Cyclops. I'm sure he just shoots somebody, though he's really super cool. And that's about it for this box. We have just some training cards. We have our cards that have to do with the villains and the heroes. That's about it. That's our first box. We got so many more to go. That was X-Men, what is that? The First Class. That was our First Class box. So we're done with that one. Let's check out our next one. Our next one is X-Men Blue Team. This is going to be one of the ones I'm super excited for. Of course, it comes with its own rule sheet here and its own thing that apparently got bent inside here. That's not a big deal. And it actually has some pretty cool, some rules that are probably going to change the way this game is played, which is pretty neat. All right, let's see what we have. We have Super Bam no Bam. It's going to be no Bam tokens. These are genetic tokens for those that don't know. The enemy we're fighting in here is Mr. Sinister. He was like a geneticist. He was into upgrading and creating mutants. So he's going to be super cool to play against. Marvel United Gold Team, Blue Team. I do have a Gold Team team box that I'm going to be doing next. So these are going to probably work in tandem. That's pretty awesome. We do have, of course, some locations. I'm sure some of these are going to be Mr. Sinister type locations. We got the Lighthouse, Savage Land. We got Midrapore. Oh, this is awesome. And Mojo Verse. That's really cool. So we got some really neat ones here. That's amazing. Then we have our miniatures. I'm not sure how many of the cards I'm going to show because we've started to understand how these cards work. We have bases for blue and gold. Interesting. So maybe we're going to make multiple cards. Okay, here is the character I am super pumped for. I am a huge fan of Rogue. Rogue is my favorite superhero of all time. Super excited that she's in this game and super excited that she's going to be amazing. Jubilee is also pretty awesome. I used to grow up watching the old X-Men cartoon, which was really, really cool. And so a lot of these guys are pretty near and dear to my heart when it comes to them now inside this game. We have Banshee and we also have Psylocke as well. Right here, and this is Mr. Sinister. Mr. Sinister is awesome. He's one of my favorite villains. He's right here. Of course, I'll have to try to paint some of these up, but there are a ton of miniatures. I don't even know where to start. And all these cards are very similar. They're going to have the powers inside them and all of that. So I don't really want to go through every single set of cards, but let's go ahead and look at a couple. We have Banshee, Jubilee. I'm sure she's got some superpowers that are going to like potentially shield people or use her light abilities here. Explosive Light Blast. Against up to 3 different targets in your location I can attack. That's pretty cool. Banshee. We have Gambit. We've got Psylocke. And here's Rogue. How are they going to play Rogue, just out of curiosity? Let's see here. She has the ability to power absorb. Use an action symbol at the bottom of another hero's face-up card in the storyline at the end of your turn. Turn the card face down. Oh, that's pretty cool. So she'll be able to absorb the powers of the other character's card. So she could take like telepathy if it's already been played down there. Or Gambit's molecular acceleration, I'm guessing. Or Master Thief card. That's pretty neat. That's how they're going to use her. I'm super pumped for that. That's a really good way to do it. We have his threat deck. We have his cards here. And then we have clear threats. These could maybe be, these are easier. There's less of them. I wonder if that has something to do with the actual, oh, because they're blue and gold. I bet there's 2 different teams that have to do 2 different sets of missions here. I'm sure that might be how it works. We'll have to read through it and see exactly how this all plays out. Now, of course, that's just the first one. That is the blue team. Let's go over to the gold team. Here's the gold team right on the heels of the blue team. We've got, again, the same blue and gold rings here, so I'm sure these are going to work in tandem together. We'll have to read through the rules and see what it's all about. Again, we have the same stun tokens. We do have this token here, which is our initiative token. These are the different lock tokens for the mission objectives and whether they're complete or not. We have some new places. I'm sure some of these are going to have to do with Sebastian Shaw. We have the Hellfire Club building. That makes perfect sense. We've got Limbo, Kuroko, and the Shi'ar Empire. Wow, that's way out there. That's pretty cool. We have Sebastian Shaw. He's our main villain in this box. He's pretty cool. And then we have that board again that has the blue and gold team here. So I'm sure that those cards are going to be played out, and we're going to have to unlock. We're going to have to do it multiple times, it looks like. That's my guess. All right, so let's take a look at all the heroes we have inside this box. We do have Archangel, which is cool. Probably right after he became Death, he comes back here. I think he was Death. Right there we have some, like I said, I'm testing my knowledge. Look at this Iceman. We might play with this guy right away because I don't even have to paint him. He's ready to go. That's pretty awesome. Might have to paint the base a little bit, but he's good to go. Then we have a Bishop here, or is this Forge? I think this is Bishop because he's got the M on his head here. Got the M right there. You can kind of see it. It's hard to see without it being painted up, but that's Bishop. And then we must have, here's Forge. Forge is right here. If I remember, he can make anything out of anything. And then we have Colossus. Colossus is right here. He's pretty cool. And then we got Sebastian Shaw. He's right here. He's a bad little guy there. Then this time I'm not going to go through the cards. I think you get the idea. We have our blue and gold tokens. So that's everything that is inside the gold box. We've seen the gold and the blue. We'll have to see how they work in tandem together. That might be one scenario we try to play, which I think would be really kind of cool. And we'll move on to our next box. Let's see if we can find, I think we're going to enter the world of Deadpool. This one will have the potential of breaking the fourth wall. We'll see how it goes. This is Deadpool. Welcome to the Madhouse. That's very similar. It does have a huge thing in the middle here. So this is going to be how you play against Deadpool. That's pretty cool. I'm really excited to read through this. I'm sure it's absolutely hilarious. For those of you that don't know, Deadpool's a very, very funny guy. He's also a really crazy kind of guy. There is only one location. It's probably his place. You have Deadpool's apartment. Look at that place. That's pretty awesome. And then a Bob, Agent of Hydra, is one of our enemies. I think we also have, this guy is also an enemy as well. Oh, that's going to be this one right here. Deadpool himself can be an enemy from how I understand it. Then we have a little cube here. I don't know what that's going to be used for. We'll see how that works. Then we have, I think it's Lady Deadpool. I'm going to guess that's Deadpool, and I'm going to guess that's Deadpool, and that's Deadpool. They're all probably all Deadpool is my guess. It all depends on what Deadpool you want to play. And then, of course, we've got Bob. I do want to look at a few of these cards. It looks like the first set of cards are going to be Lady Deadpool's cards. Let's see what she has all about here. Some of her, she has resistance to everything. Oh, this is going to be absolutely awesome. Master Assassin, Merc with a mouth and with lip gloss. So all of her cards are going to have something written on them except for the wild cards. That is awesome. Super cool. We have Bob, Agent of Hydra. His cards are all going to have to do with he can be played as a hero, so these are his hero cards. A lot of movement, a lot of just one symbols. That's pretty funny. So I bet he's got some really good powers, but as just a hero that's helping out, he's not that great. He doesn't have too many double cards in there. If you notice, some of the cards down here, well, actually a lot of these people don't have double cards. That's hilarious. Then we have Deadpool himself. He's got, what's this? Resistance to everything. Well, he could be resistant to everything. That's very true. And all of his cards are going to do some fight through the pain, unpredictable, breaking the fourth wall. You must draw the top 2 cards from the Deadpool Chaos Challenge deck. Choose one and resolve it. Interesting. So that is Deadpool's cards. We have the threat deck for Bob, Agent of Shield. Agent of Shield, or Agent of Hydra, sorry. We have Bob's cards here for where he's going to do, bam, you move around the board, things like that. Then we have our Deadpool threat cards, which are right here. Who are you looking at? Boring threat. What are you doing here? Oh, look, a boring threat. What are you even doing here? That's awesome. Watch the days go by. Do you feel like a hero? Look at all those pretty stars. Are you punching the air? Why are you running in place? Oh my gosh. Oh, I love watching heroes try to clear this. Only wilds can be used to clear this threat. Grants +5 extra points when cleared. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. He has some awesome threats, and of course, I'm sure his cards are going to be absolutely hilarious as well. Going around kicking butt. Love that. Going around bringing the pain. Chimichanga anyone. Oh my gosh, this is going to be amazing. This is so good. Then you got a challenge deck as well. So that's the Deadpool set. This one's really funny. This is going to be lots of fun to play. I think this will be good fun. This is going to be a good fun one to play. So that's Deadpool. We've gone through that one. It's time to dig a little bit. I think we're going to start looking at some of the boxes that actually are going to. We have X-Force. Let's take a look at X-Force next. I think that'll be cool. Let's take a look at X-Force. We'll see what they have to offer. Created by Cable out of the remnants of the New Mutants, the X-Force. Here they come. It's a one-page little booklet here, so it's probably not a ton of new stuff in here, but it looks like a new type of location mechanism is going to happen inside of this. So we're going to be taking on Strife. He is going to be the main bad guy. He is right here. This is Strife. Super cool looking miniature. They're all really neat looking miniatures. I really enjoy each of them. We have Cannonball. He's right here. I bet he has a lot of movement is my guess. We have Domino. Domino's must be Domino right here, because the other two don't look anything like a Domino. Let's see what she looks like. I'm going to have to paint her up white and black, and so it's going to be pretty tough to paint her up. At least I would think she's going to be tough to do. We got Shatterstar, which is right here. He's got 2 swords, comes running at you. And then the leader of the whole group is Cable. He's right here. This is Cable. Super cool looking. He's awesome. We have some new places. We have Murder World. I think that's part of Arcade's deal. I think Arcade made Murder World. We have Strife's Secret Base. We've got the Morlocks Tunnel. Then we have the Aerodonic Mountains. And back to Murder World again. We have Strife's card here when it comes to fighting against him. This is one I am not going to go all the way through. I'm totally fine just from where we are. With these cards, I don't think are going to have too much to go. I think the mechanism we were looking at is more going to be having to do with these world cards right here more than anything else. So that's this one. We're able to look into X-Force. That's X-Force. Let's move on. This is going to be, let's go to another super cool box of X-Men goodness. We'll check out the Phoenix 5. The Phoenix 5 is going to be our first one that I believe the entire box is a scenario in itself, which is pretty neat. So it does, I'm sure it's going to teach us exactly how to do it. As you're going through, you're going to be defeating the Phoenix 5, and as you defeat them, the other ones are going to grow in power. So the more of them you defeat, the more powerful they get. I believe it's going to be very similar to the way the Sinister 6 works. Of course, it's going to have its own mechanics and everything that's going to go along with it, but I'm sure each of these guys are going to start with their own type of abilities, and then as we go through that, they're going to gain new ones or something as they continue to grow in power. Oh my gosh, what's this? Heroes starting tokens. Oh boy, that's out of control. All right, so we've got all these different characters. I'm really interested to see how they're going to play this one out. So we do have Namor, Magic, Colossus, we have Cyclops, and we have Emma Frost. These were all people imbued with the power of the Phoenix, and then kind of they became, actually, I'm not 100% how this entire works in the comics, but I believe they kind of all became evil, and so they had to slowly defeat these more powerful versions of the actual characters, which I don't, some of these are some of the most powerful mutants on Earth. I don't know how they did it, but we have to read through it. Well, I know how they did it. It had to do with this character right here, Hope. Hope came into the deal, and she was able to help put all this to rest. I do want to look through some of these cards because these are a little bit unique. We have our threat deck, so each of the Phoenix 5 before drawing. Okay, so these are all going to kind of work together in a way. And then here's all the different Phoenix 5 characters. They're all going to have their own moving and BAM powers as they go along. And he's got, Cyclops has his own threat deck. Emma Frost has her own threat deck. All these guys are going to have their own threat deck. Now, again, I'd like to see how this works. You have to fight each one of them individually and then fight them at the end. Maybe it's not like I thought. Maybe it's not going to be played like was it Sinister 6? Maybe you defeat each one of these in order, and as you defeat each one of these, the other one grows a little bit more strong. Interesting. We'll have to play through this. This will be really fun. I think this one will be a really neat thing. Train Hope. I like training Hope. You can unlock her abilities here, I guess. Hope is going to become more powerful as the game goes on. I'm sure she's got some really cool power near the end here. Hope Summers, Denying, Embracing Destiny, Embracing Destiny, Embracing Destiny. Lots of Destiny cards here. All right, there we go. That's that. Again, I don't know the full story of this one. This is one I'm not that familiar with, but I'm excited to try it because I think it'd be really cool to see how all this is going to play out. That is the Phoenix 5. Phoenix 5, sweetness. We'll move on to the next blocks. Okay, I think we're going to go backwards in time now. We're going to go back to the I'm going to check out the Apocalypse box. I'm also sure that this is also a scenario for itself in the box. You're going to be taking on all of Apocalypse and his 4 horsemen, interestingly enough. And of course, it has a full sheet of how these are all going to work. And these look like they're all going to be played out on the board at one time. The other one I'm sure must be one at a time is my guess. So here's the whole Apocalypse horseman board. And it's going to have the rules for everything as you go. We're going to have some new locations. I'm sure one of them, yep, is Apocalypse's Pyramid in the Starlight Citadel. That's pretty cool. We do have Apocalypse, the main bad guy here. He's a super bad guy. He has a villainous plot, believe it or not. Why would he not? He's a villainous plot guy. Interestingly enough, we can use Apocalypse as a hero character as well, even though he is smashing the X-Men symbol down here. Pretty neat. We do have all of the horsemen, including Death right here, which is Archangel. Or Angel, I guess, turned into Archangel. And well, actually, Angel turned to Death, turned to Archangel. Let's go through these cards really quick and see what we can see. Again, I'm sure a lot of these... Here's his starting hand. So this is of Apocalypse, I believe, is a good guy. Yes, it is. He's probably got self-molecular manipulation. That sounds about right. And immortality. Oofda. That'll be awesome. And here's all the bad guys. We've got Famine. We've got a starting master plan. He's going to start with that. That's pretty cool. And then he's got all, I'm guessing these are all different master plan cards of some kind that you're going to be playing. We've got threats for Death, and we've got all the horsemen that we're going to be playing. And that's it. Yeah, these are the horsemen that are going to go out, I'm sure. Weakened, not weakened. So you have to play them weakened and unweakened. This is the threat deck for Death, or for just all the horsemen. Okay, it's just going to be all the horsemen of Apocalypse. That's pretty cool. This one is going to be a ton of fun. This is one of the ones I'm excited for. I'm excited to try to take on Apocalypse and his 4 horsemen. Super, super cool. That's the end of that box. There's a red cube. Not sure what it's for, but I'm sure we'll find out as we play through this scenario. We'll move on to the next box. We're gonna go a little bit deeper now into the X-Men lore and move into something that my son has been super excited for, and I think everybody else has been too. And that's the Days of Future Past. It is time to take on the Sentinels. This is going to be really cool. Nimrod and his Sentinels. Welcome to Project Nimrod. Here he is. The whole rule book for this. Of course, we have all the giant sentinels. Nimrod and Logan is in this book. I'm really thinking this is going to be a ton of fun. This is one my son is super excited for. It's probably the one we're going to do on the channel if we do play this. Well, I should say we are going to play it. And this will be the one that we're going to do, I'm pretty sure. Look at this. Here's the sentinels, and here is Nimrod himself. We're going to give this a shot. Oh, there they are. Look at them. Oh my gosh, these look awesome. Look at these giant sentinels. Oh, these are so cool looking. I need to get these painted up and onto the table as fast as I can. Those would be sweet. And then we got Logan right here. And we have Nimrod down here as well. Super, super cool. I'm not going to go through the cards. The cards are super small, and I'm sure they just are scenario based, and then his action cards in there as well. I did notice that it did not come with any type of locations or anything. It did come with a super cool scenario that I think is going to be one of the best ones out here. I think this is going to be a super home run. I'm excited for the Days of Future Past. And if you're interested in seeing it, stay tuned for the playthrough coming out here on Meet Me at the Table. The final expansion box I have is the Fantastic Four. We're going to look at this one. Here's the Fantastic Four. Welcome to the family. We've got Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, The Thing, Human Torch, Silver Surfer's even in here. And we have some Doom tokens here I think are going to be the key mechanic in this one. The Doom bots. He is known for his Doom bots. Here they all are. Wow, a ton of Doom bots. That's out of control. So many Doom bots. We have some KO tokens. We have some new locations. I'm sure some of these are going to be, yep, the Baxter Building, Latveria. We have 4 Yancey Street, that's where the thing's from, and Mount Wundagore. All right, we have those new locations. We've got Dr. Doom, and we have the Super Skrull as well. The Super Skrull is another enemy we can play because Dr. Doom you can play as a hero. As you see in the box, he is purple. And we'll take a look and see if there's anything cool about this. I think we are going to take a look at some of these cards because I see some that probably, I think they're all going to work together. Maybe not. We'll see how this goes. Silver Surfer's already painted, so we're good there. Maybe I think I've got my plan. Our first game is going to involve the Silver Surfer, the Human Torch, Iceman, and I think we're ready to go. We'll play a 3-player game. That'd be awesome. I don't have to paint anything. We've got his threat deck here. We'll take a look at some of these cards. Our first set of cards are Dr. Doom's threat deck, Dr. Doom's player deck, or no, it's his enemy deck. And then we have the Super Skrull's threat decks, the Super Skrull's cards, and then we have this at the back, Takeover. Now I'm guessing it has to do with Skrull invasion. I'm sure that's part of the scenario, is having to stop the takeover from the, what's this, brutal takeover. Ooh, I don't like brutal takeovers. And we have a challenge card in there as well. Next, the card I'm interested in is this one, Fantastic. That's all it is. It's nothing. It's nothing. I thought, okay, these are Doom's hero cards. These are going to be all the hero cards for our characters, interestingly enough. We do have a starting hand card, interestingly. I'll start with this. Plasticity. I guess she starts with probably invisible visibility. He starts with Flame On, I bet, or something. Let's see what his is. Pyrogenesis, and then his is, what's his? Like, the Thing. Rock like skin. Oh, I thought it would be Clobberin' Time. It's not Clobberin' Time. The Silver Surfer is Cosmic Awareness, and these all in the starting hand. Does he have a starting hand? He does. What is his? Dr. Doom, Pain is for Lesser Men. Awesome. So that is it. That is all that's in the Fantastic Four. The mechanic here, I'm sure, has to do with his Doom bots, which will be interesting to see them all come into play. We'll box this up. That's the end of all the small little expansions I have. The only thing left is going to be our big giant stretch goals box, and then all the add-ons that have to come, that came with this pledge. One thing we did get in this is the Old Man Logan and the Storm with her mohawk, which is pretty cool. Here she is, and here are his cards as well, Old Man Logan and Storm. These look pretty cool. Here are the figurines right here. Those are part of this Kickstarter. Let's see what else we can find. Also, we have this box here of all the different cardboard locations. So instead of using, so we have like the Horseman of Apocalypse location. So it came with Apocalypse's Pyramid and Starlight Citadel. They're made of cardboard instead of those flimsy single color the cardboard ones, the little flimsy cardboard ones. Also down here we do have our locked effect. The reason these are here is because they're going to sit down on the bottom of this, and the card you're going to play is going to be played on top of this. And if this is up more than this, it kind of just lays weird on the board. That's the only reason these are here. And then, of course, we have the alternate Danger Room one as well. So this is just part of the stuff that we were able to pick up inside of the Kickstarter. I also got these plastic tokens that cover all the different tokens you're going to see that we have seen, I should say, in this game already. And they are pretty thick tokens. They're these nice thick tokens. You can kind of see them right there. Open one of these up and take a look at what's in here. These feel pretty nice. I'm pretty excited about these. These will work pretty good. I like it. Better than the cardboard ones that come in there because, you know, plastic's better than cardboard sometimes. Well, you never know. Sometimes cardboard's better than plastic. But we do have tokens for every possible character or mission in the game found in this Kickstarter. Next, I picked up these cardboard villain dashboards. So instead of using, again, the flimsy cardboard one that comes in the actual box, you can use a nice cardboard one. And we have them for every single enemy in the game are all in here, along with even the Phoenix 5, all the way down to when we get to the gold and blue team, we have those in here as well. We have upgrade cards. It's everything. Anything that would have been in the middle of the board, we now have as a piece of cardboard as well, instead of using the little flimsy one. So that, again, was an add-on we were able to get a hold of. Let's move on to that stretch goals box that everybody has been waiting for. If for some reason your favorite character was not found in any of those other boxes, I'm sure it might be inside this box right here. This is the stretch goals box for for all the stretch goals that happen. Here's all the minis. I'm going to pull that out. Underneath here are all the cards that are going to have to be, or the tokens, I mean, that are going to be used for some of these characters here. Oh my gosh, there's a mountain of them. There's an absolute mountain of characters in here. Here, these alone are just the villains that we found in here. We have the, was it the Brotherhood? We've got Spiral. We've got, here's Spiral again. We've got Silver Samurai with both cards here. The Shadow King. Sauron's in here. That's awesome. We have Onslaught, and that's going to be cool. We have Omega Red, Namor, Mojo. I mean, the list just goes on and on. I mean, I don't even know if I have, I guess I have all the time in the world. Mastermind, Morrow, we've got Legion. And some of these can be played as heroes as well. We have Lady Deathstrike. We have Emma Frost, as you've already seen her, I think, as a hero, maybe not. Deathbird. We have Dark Phoenix there. Of course, she's in here. Let's see what she's bamming everybody. I don't know if I want to fight her. She'll probably beat me up. Callisto. We have the Brood Queen. That's pretty awesome. Here's Avalanche and back to Arcade, which is why we found that, I think, what was it? Murder World. That's his place, if I remember right. And we're back to here. So those are the, then I am not going to go through all these cards. You get the deal. These cards have, or these characters are all found inside these, and the enemies have their decks as well. Let's look at some of the miniatures that came with it. In true cool mini or not fashion, we have 3 or 4 sets of these. These are all the enemies. We got Pyro, Blob, and Toad right here. Here's Arcade. We went through all these already. Here's Sauron right here. This one's going to be cool. I'd like to try to go against Sauron. That'd be kind of fun. Here's the Brood Queen. Here's, look at the Dark Phoenix with the Phoenix behind it. I love the little colorfulness of that. That's pretty neat. So we'll put that one aside. Then we have, again, here's some of our heroes coming in here. I am not going to be able to name all these heroes because no matter how many times I think I know all the characters, I never do. That's the way this works. I think we got Havoc. I think this is Havoc right here. This is Multiple Man, I'm sure, is who that is right there. We've got Strong Guy. I think that's Strong Guy right there. He looks pretty strong. He has to probably be a strong guy. I think this is this is a new character. I can't remember the name of it right off the top of my head. I'm trying to go off the top of my head. We'll see how I do here. We got Warpath. I think this is Warpath right down here. Phantom X. Here's Phantom X. He's in this game. Here's some of the bad guys. Here's Legion. Legion's up here with his thing. You can always pick him out with a super cool hairdo. And then we have Spiral right here. You can always tell her with all the different blades coming off of her. And who can ever figure out, this has to be Namor. Come on, he's riding in on water, for crying out loud. That's Namor, and we've got Emma Frost up there. And all these can be used, of course, as heroes as well. Who else do we see on here that I might know? Well, I probably know them all if I really looked at them. Is this Wolfsbane? I bet this is Wolfsbane up here. Wolf Arrow character. We're going over here. Here's Lockjaw. We've got some more down here. So this Gwenpool, I think, is who that probably is. And we have, oh, this is Cloak. I bet this is Cloak, and Dagger's got to be in here somewhere. Where's Dagger? Let me find Dagger. Oh, I bet there's Dagger right next to him. Oh, I was really hoping these two would kind of go together. I was hoping they'd be they could form together to be like a team. That'd be really cool. I bet their cards probably work together potentially, but it would have been really cool if they actually, their bases would have gone together and they could have done something together. That'd have been a really neat feature. I think on top of here, Alpha Flight's in here somewhere, I'm sure. Let's see if I can find, here's Weapon X. Weapon X is right here. That's pretty cool. Yeah, here's Puck. Here's one of them. Here's one of the Alpha Flights. Oh, and Sabretooth right down. Oh, the Alpha Flight's right down there at the bottom. That's pretty sweet. This Captain Britain. I think that's Captain Britain right there. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Maybe it's not. Now, let's see who else I see in here. Oh, a whole bunch of people. That's the deal. Boom Booms, I'm probably in here somewhere, I'm sure. No, that's not her. She'd probably be throwing out some kind of crazy thing. Maybe this is Boom Boom. Yeah, there's some sparkles coming off. I bet that's Boom Boom right there. All right, those are some of the minis. Again, I think they're missed something here. I think it would be really cool to have these two activate together to do something. I think that'd be really kind of neat. All right, that is all the miniatures that are found inside. That's it. Just that. Can you believe all these miniatures? So all those boxes we got of enemies, and I bet this box alone doubled the amount of enemies that we got for this game. This is just ridiculous. This Stretch Goals box is out of control. Super cool. So that's it. That is an unboxing of Marvel United. Thank you for sticking around for the whole thing. If you did, that's amazing. I'm very happy for you, and thank you for doing that. If you didn't, I hope you found the parts that you're really interested in. I'm interested in the whole thing. This will be coming to Meet Me at the Table as well. Don't forget, I will be doing a playthrough of this, and my son will probably be joining me as well. If you did enjoy the unboxing, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell symbol so you know when the playthrough for Marvel United X-Men comes out. Also, please feel free to leave anything in the comments below. I would love to hear from everyone. On top of that, in the description of this video, you'll find a link to my Patreon. Please feel free to join if you're interested. In there, you're able to help decide who plays in the game. You can help me decide what we paint for some of my live painting episodes. And on top of that, you can also help me decide what characters and the scenario we might play for this. Though I have a feeling that is going to be whatever anybody picks is going to be the Days of Future Past, because that's what my son really wants to do. But after that, I might come back to this game and I'll let all of the Patreon people decide what we play and who we play with. I think that'll be really cool. Thank you again for watching. And if you're excited to see this playthrough or anything else on my channel, then I need you to meet me at the table.